Peace, my family, and roll back to all those coming out of that addicted tune for the first time. Welcome. This is your girl, the butterfly. We about to take off. Let's fly. Just want to send you all the good healing energy your way. Peace, love, happiness, harmony, and abundance. Hope you guys are out there keeping your mind right and back. Now. How y'all feeling today? Hope you guys most definitely moving on up in your higher natures and cleansing. Okay. Cleansing the lows. I came out here today to express, and it continues. All right, now, let's go back through my experiences in my mind. When I was stepping into the unknown, didn't know quite what was happening in my life at that particular time during my spiritual awakening, right? Okay. Now, once you begin to really study what you think you know, again, study what our Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi has come to bring us from the Most High. Once you begin to really study and really get to know non-innocent Jesus, Yahshua, Tammuz, Horus, once you begin to really understand where everything came from and the message behind it all, and who you are, right? And how you're supposed to be moving and living your life to begin to move on up into the higher realms, right? Because that's what this is about, right? Ascension, moving up into the higher realms, right? How are you going to move up into the higher realms if you haven't handled your lower, right? When I say handle your lower self, when you haven't really dug deep with the shadow part of you, right? It's very important that you do so, because there's certain things in it you have to clean up. And that means to just keep it simple to me, and this is my experience, and everybody has their experiences, right? This is how I did it, right? Because I did it. What I'm trying to tell you to help you guys also do it is trying to keep it simple is you got to handle your lower self, right? Now, what do I mean by that? You have to really clean it up, right? And that's what I say all the time. You have to clean it up. You have to purify your soul. You have to clean it up. And what do I mean by that? By taking care of your body, by taking care of your mind, by taking care of your spirits, by taking care of yourself. All of it is needed for you to clean it on up. And when you begin to start taking better care of yourself, that's also a form of love. And that's how you begin to start to love yourself again. Because once you begin to start taking better care of yourself, that's how you begin to project that love. And that's how you begin to embody love. Because you are now beginning to love what the Most High is giving you. And use it wisely. The vehicle. Take care of it, right? Mind. The brains, the gift, right? And the gift to think for yourself. You understand free will. You understand it's a gift at the same time, but don't get trapped in it all, right? Because at the same time, due to that, you can still go left, right? So remember to understand that it's laws to these realms. It's laws to this, right? And as long as you are abiding by the laws of the Most High, you good, right? And sometimes it's good to check in on yourself and see how you've been doing and seeing how you've been moving and curting yourself sharply. That's what it is. Clean it on up, right? Sounds simple, right? But it's really not when you begin to realize that you've been attached to this world and pretending for so long that it became you, and then you became in the image of the beast. I've been there, and this is why I'm speaking to you like that straight up. What is the image of the beast? When you begin to look like something other than what the Most High has created you to be, not yourself. When you begin to look like something other than yourself. When you begin to look ill. Like literally, like a beast. Ill. Animalistic. Using your animalistic nature, that's your lower self, as far as you maneuvering that, right? So and dealing with only the animalistic part of yourself, right? That part. And when you get in that lust part of yourself, where you move in with lust, and I want this, and the desires, so I want this, and you feel like you need these things in order to have some form of happiness. Because back when I was trying to figure it out, when I was walking into the unknown and learning and reading and studying, right? That part of me was always wanting to be happy, wondering why people do got smiles on your faces, right? And they're faking the funk, faking the smiles, and I'm smiling on this picture. Oh, no, like, is it a real smile? Can you tell from a real smile from a fake one? Is it real, right? People putting on for the gram, right? Is it real? Is your smile's real? Or you just putting on after you take that smile off your face, you're back to really being unhappy. Don't y'all want that inner joy, that inner happiness? Not only the Most High can give you, bombshell, because no one can really give you that happiness, right? The way the Most High can give you that happiness, right? Just say, and omnipotent Jesus, Yahshua Temu's horse was appointed over us, and we must understand, and we must honor that, right? And again, family, it's a reason why we're here, right? And ultimately, you have to understand, through time, everything will begin to make sense. Make it make sense. Because again, as you've been tricked and deceived by the ways of the world and maneuvering in it and how it moves and dealing with all the lusts and desires of it all, wondering why it doesn't really make you really happy, because you're going to be constantly chasing it. Question, where are you going? You're going down. You're going down that downward spiral. That's where you're going. All the way to the bottom of the pyramid. That's where you're going. And when you there, oh man, when you hit rock bottom, you there. And all it is up from there, right? We all gotta hit rock bottom, right? Where you realize something went wrong. I'm not moving in the right direction. I'm constantly angry. I'm not happy. But you can try to fake it till you make it type of thing. But why do that? When you can begin to be real with yourself and tell yourself, yo, am I happy? No, I ain't happy. I'm not happy. But again, family, again, when you're going through that journey of that unknown at that particular time, let me just tell y'all, was I happy? No. I was crying. I was sad. I was depressed. I wasn't. I was out of my mind. Wasn't in my right state of mind whatsoever. You know what they say: smoking away, drinking away, trying to, numb the pain and the suffering I was experiencing. Realizing that my whole life, never really quite fit in. But I always wondered why. Why does everywhere I go, because I moved around a lot, right? So why is everywhere I go, people always say, oh, you're different, something, and it was just like, well, what makes me so different? I'm just being me, and I always been that way, just being me. And for some reason, by me just doing that, people always looked at me a certain way. What she just trying to figure me out. Realizing there's nothing really to figure out, because I've been myself the entire time. What's up with y'all? What's going on with y'all? Been myself the entire time. Who being fake now? Other than the fact of me, when getting introduced into the weaves and the hairs and stuff, that was not myself, right? I was putting on, and eventually lost myself in it all by, again, growing to not want to take care of my hair, because I loved my hair, but growing to not take care of my hair, messing up my crown, damaging my crown, killing the dead cells and things like that. All of it, you know. And again, looking at myself in the mirror, hiding from myself and putting it on to hide, go running, right? When I don't have, my weaves and the wigs on, you go running, like, when people come, right? You ain't got to, like, what the freak is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? And that's when I begin to say to myself, something went wrong. I don't love myself. Why am I? It's not just about hair. Why am I running? Why am I hiding? Why am I having feel like I had to put this on to be presentable to whoever, was around me at that particular time? Why don't they like me for me? Why do people look at you like that when you're being natural in your natural state? Because, family, guess what? Bombshell, it was something that they weren't used to, right? And they used to people being fake out here. They used to people wearing wigs. Guess what? I was being fake out here, right? And I can say that to y'all out of love because I'm being real with myself. I was fake, okay? I was fake out here, and that's just what the freak it was. Because that wasn't my hair. That wasn't me, and that wasn't what the Most High has given me. That's not my crown. Where is your crown? Why aren't you wearing your crown? Question. These are the hard questions. These are the pill swallowers that you have to ask yourself to realize, are you truly being real with yourself? You got to get there. Oh, yeah, and it takes time. And a lot of people don't like that question. A lot of people look at you up and down. A lot of people get mad. And don't know why they get mad, but that's good. Get mad. Get mad. It's okay. Cry a little bit, it's okay. Because you got to begin to ask yourself these questions. Because guess what? You already know what that answer is. They put those images on the TV to make it seem like those images and that image of beauty is beautiful, right? And not your own. So as you grow and you look at these people, you're thinking like, that's the image of beauty. Not realizing that you are the image of beauty. You know why? Because that's how the Most High has created you. And it is beautiful enough. It is just enough. And so much more. We have to learn how to love who we are and what the Most High has created us to be. Flawless and all. And to the Most High, we are flawless, right? Because that's the way the Most High has created you. So you're supposed to rock with what you got. And keep it moving. Rock what you got. Rock it. Rock it, family. Do your thing. That's what's going to build up your confidence. And that's what's going to attract the right people into your life if you even need any, right? Because along my journey, I wasn't accepted. Bombshell. A lot of people don't know that I know this. I wasn't accepted. People always looked at me like something's different. I wasn't really accepted. People were always like, just trying to, again, figure me out. Trying to question, what's up, And you had, I can say I had a few people that I can say that I felt the real love from, right? But it wasn't many. And that's cool, I don't expect that, right? But I will say that I always wondered why it wasn't that way around people just in general, because of how I move. When I look at you, I move in love, right? And that's my intent behind what I do, is love. And this is me at a young age. I always moved with love, right? And for some reason, people, I found out about the world. People aren't that way. People are not like you. What? You too nice. What? And I was just really, being true to my heart. And I'm just a nice person, right? But finding out about the world and things like that, everybody's not that way. Everybody's not that way. And again, you realize that that's okay. You realize how to move. Okay. Now you realize different people and what they are. It's the reason why I moved around so much, because I can understand people more. All different races, right? I understand people a little bit more, right? How they are, right? So I understand certain things, and it's a reason why. And again, the reason why I cried so much when we were doing it. You can say I moved like the military in my home. Anyway, like I said, I cried because every time it seemed like when I got comfortable in a place, and I was like, "Cool, it's cool, it's where we at, it's cool, we would move, and then I'm back to being uncomfortable again. Why am I always put in a place where I'm not comfortable? Why am I always put in a place where I'm always the new girl? You know, I realized it was preparing me for the journey ahead. And that's when you begin to realize everything happens in your life for a reason. And that is the beginning stages of it. Because it introduced me to many different people and how people act, study behaviors, things like that. And just how people are. I had a rough journey. But I will just say I learned a lot. And I still keep it with me to this day. Because you keep everything you learn to this day. It's not forgotten, you know. It's all to teach you something as you go on, because you're going to need it later. Side note, you're going to need it later. Really, you're going to need it later. So, yeah. And as you go on and you maneuver and you get around people, and you go to different places, you see things, you see certain places, and you realize a lot of the stuff is really, at least where I went, was just the same. People just keep putting on and get taught a backwards lifestyle and doing things that, you're not supposed to be doing in the eyes of the Most High, right? If you got into that, scriptures and things like that. Being taught as a child, I was in the scriptures, but I guess you can say that I didn't take the commandments as serious as applying it to my lifestyle at that particular time, not realizing how serious it really was. But when I realized how serious it really was, that's when it became so real. Because this is what it is, and this is why you're tripping. This is why you're tripping over things in broad daylight, because you're not listening. This is why you're getting in trouble, because you're not listening. And you think your parents or whoever you was put in place in your life, or whoever was there for you, if anyone was there, was put in a place to let you know certain things, whatever that might be for your journey ahead. Let you know certain things. Some of these things you may have already known, may have already figured it out, right? Sounds simple, right? But it's really not as simple as it seems as you're walking through it, as you're walking through hell, right? It's not as simple as it seems, but that's when it begins, because when you begin to start walking, and then you realize that you have snakes in the grass, you realize that there's a lot of things going on, you realize that people don't want to tell you certain things. You realize that people on that hush-hush, when they begin to talk and speak and realize that you are listening, they want to shut up and not say anything at all. Like, I just not hear what you just said. I realized along the way that people don't want you to know certain things about yourself, and certain things that just comes out of nowhere. And it's just, but they let you know, right? But some people just, you have these stares, like they're staring through your soul, like they know. And it's just like, I see, right? We're both here. I see, right? But again, a lot of people, Don't want you to figure yourself out. Don't want you to know more about who you are. Don't want you to know the truth of it all. This place is hell. This place is a trap. Don't fall for it. Once you begin to not fall for the traps and get in tune with what the Most High says, then you'll be moving on the right path and getting back on. And how far you have gone, no matter how far you have gone, you can always get back on track. But remember, time waits on nobody. So again, the way the world looking right now, though, it's time to get on the ball. Time to get on the ball because you're late to class. It's time to get on the ball. It's time to get on the ball. And you have a chance to make it right now. You have a chance to get it right now. So why not make that choice and get it right now? No, really. Because, again, family, it's so much love. It's so much love in it. Because when you realize that when you begin to start listening, that's when things begin to happen for you in your life. That's when doors start to open. And again, when I'm speaking on these doors and things start to happen, I'm not speaking on material things. I'm speaking on spiritual doors. Because material things, of course, it goes like this. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will be followed on to you. You're going to already have everything that you need. And what people do want and desire, that's a whole nother thing. Because your wants and desires can and will blind you, thinking that, that's what life is. That's a form of success. Not saying that you can't have certain things to make yourself feel comfortable or certain things, but don't put that in a form of some type of value over you and your soul and spirit, because again, you are priceless. And your soul is a gift. Your spirits are a gift. Life is a gift. Existence is a gift. Love is life. Life is love. That's love. Existence is a gift. Life is a gift. It's something that you should be grateful for. It's something that you show gratitude each and every day. You wake up each and every day, you breathe in, breathe out. Yeah. That's love. That's love. To experience this experience, that's love. And that's grace. And of course, I mentioned Jesus, Joshua, Tammuz, Horus, we can learn a lot. Right? And again, he taught us that we must know certain things to be free. We must know these things. We must know the truth to be free. But some people couldn't hear it because they didn't have patience. They didn't want to listen. They figured out, they basically thought that they figured it out and thought that they knew it all. But again, family, we know nothing compared to the balanced universes. So how can you sit here and say that you got it all up in your head thinking that you know it all? I don't know it all. So what makes you think that I'm going to sit here and think that you know it all? All I'm doing is sharing my experience and what I learned. And you always are forever the student. Like I said, always going to learn something new. Each and every day. So why not sit back and relax and take the time to get to know our Creator and the beings to help procreate us? Why not take the time to get to know yourselves again and remember who you are and get out of that amnesia state of mind and wake you on up before it's too late? I know a lot of people say that a lot, but it's so true. Because again, that's why you're here. Are you ready? Again, family, y'all, I was always on that tip where I wanted to find my purpose and want to know what it is and know what the reason why I'm here. It was just like a light bulb moment hit me in my life where, again, like I said before, y'all, like I said, I told you, it was like nothing that was sticking out that said I wanted to do certain things in the world. Like, it wasn't everybody. It seemed like they knew what they wanted to do, or some people still don't know what they want to do, but at the time it seems like the people around me at that particular time kind of knew what they wanted to do already. Me, I didn't know, and they always looked at me like, why you don't know what you want, and I'm just looking like, I don't know, but I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask, Most High, what's the purpose here? Why am I here? And when I begin to ask those type of questions, that's when things start to happen, and that's when the roadmap started to light up. And through time, as I begin to pray and ask questions and things like that, that's when it all started to happen. You got to ask questions and you have to pray. And when you begin to do those things, that's when things begin to happen. And then the Most High begin to put people in place for you to sometimes get your answers. And then you get your answers through people. And then you get your answers personally from the Most High. Letting you know your answer. Certain things will happen. You're going to know that's the answer. Right? And it's real. Or through meditation. Many different ways you can get it. Uploads. Yeah. Whatever people like to call it. Downloads, uploads, whatever. As you learn and grow. Yeah, all that. So again. All of that is needed. Because that's going to help you get to where you need to be. Spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, all in one. So love yourselves once again and be the peace that you seek. And continue along your path and don't give up. Because even though it may seem like things are falling apart, just let me know that that's when it means that it's really coming together. Trust the journey and trust the process. All right, now. So, like I said before, you can't make this stuff up every single time. All right, now. So I'm going to leave it at that for now, family. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer. On that note, hope you all know that you are loved beyond this world and in it. Begin to spread the love one to another. Be the peace that you seek. Release our master teacher, Dr. Malachi New York L. Peace, shalom, hashuk, divine love, family, and wadu. And it's all.